Get me out of Jamaica, because these niggas said they don't eat pussy, and his lady don't respect him if you want him to eat pussy. Ziggy Marley, this why you paddling alone, because you're not eating pussy. You rather stay here to eat pussy. Well, then you don't want a green card. Eat some pussy, you get a green card. Eat some pussy, yeah.
Hashtag Passport Bros refers to American black men seeking financial, cultural, social, and sexual opportunities or options outside of the United States of America, or generally outside of Western nations. Passport Bros have zero or nearly zero interest in establishing relationships with American women specifically and Western women generally. The historical fact is that hashtag Passport Bros arose out of the American black man's own modern reality, discussions, and social media networking through content creation. Hashtag Passport Bros was pushed through the social algorithm to encourage American black men to seek opportunities outside of the United States, or generally the Western nations. The question that I get most often in emails is, can white men or other non-black men be passport bros? But I believe a better approach to it is to rephrase the question as, do white men need to call themselves passport bros when they have the hashtag I'm white? Is anything gained by white men calling themselves passport bros? My position is no. The white men and other non-black men don't need to call themselves passport bros to be treated as equal citizens by the majority of people in the West. It is the American black man whose political and human rights are constantly questioned. It is the American black man whose aspirations to be accepted on the basis of the content of his character that is in question. Back in November 2020, the Brookings Institute published a very important paper called The Challenges Facing Black Men and the Case for Action. Here is a quote taken directly from that article. To be male, poor, and black is to confront on a daily basis a deeply held racism that exists in every social institution. No other demographic group has fared as badly, so persistently, and for so long. To meet this appalling crisis, the Brookings Institute thought leaders called for a new deal for black men. When the Brookings Institute calls for a new deal for black men, I agree. But the thinking black man is not sitting around waiting for think tanks, politicos, the corporatocracy, and others to do for him what he can do for himself. Hashtag Passport Bros is a universal rally cry of my freedom, my choice. My freedom, my choice. Based on the social facts presented by the Brookings Institute, for a white man or a non-black man to call himself hashtag Passport Bros would be equivalent to Stephen Curry quitting the Golden State Warriors at the peak of his career to go play for the Shanghai Sharks of the Chinese Basketball Association after winning the NBA MVP. So if Stephen Curry wouldn't quit Golden State Warriors at the peak of his career, it's hard to believe that the average white man in the West would need the hashtag Passport Bros when he has the hashtag I'm white or I'm white and I say so. It is the American black man or the Western black man who is constantly under the microscope and up for debate in regards to his natural and human rights. Yet, We recognize that thinking men of all races, nationalities, and religious affiliations should stand in solidarity on the issue of the right to travel and free association across the globe. In that way, we are in full alliance with the rights of free men to pursue their happiness here, there, and everywhere. What are the core principles behind the hashtag PassportBros? Principle number 1. I am a global citizen. Economist Thomas Friedman published the bestseller The World is Flat back in April 2005. In that text, he argued that there has been a fundamental shift in both global, macro, and micro economic structures. He warned those who failed to recognize the course change and what was to come. Friedman's belief was that the world is flat in the sense that the competitive playing fields between industrial and emerging markets were leveling. Therefore, that a growing percentage of American men will use the power of the US dollar, user-friendly technology, and access to foreign societies to fulfill their life goals is only surprising to the most ill-informed within our own group. Principle number 2. Free yourself through remote work and digital nomad income streams. With the onset of the global shutdown, many companies have begun offering remote work opportunities for the first time. PricewaterhouseCoopers is an example of one of those large corporations because it announced it would allow at least 40,000 of its employees to work virtually and live anywhere they choose into perpetuity, making it one of the biggest employers to embrace permanent remote work since 2021. There are many paths one could take to become a remote worker. Yet the highest paying remote job is that of a data scientist at an average base salary of $97,000. If you find yourself working in any of the emerging markets across the world, this could mean a significant increase in purchasing power within those foreign markets. If you are considering pursuing the hashtag PassportBros lifestyle, you will greatly be helped by looking into studies around STEM. For example, jobs that have the title Network Security Specialist, Network Analyst, or IT Specialist, Web Developer, even English Translator is a position you might want to consider. Principle number 3, the choice. The passport bro will say, if she's fine, fit, feminine, and foreign, that's the woman for me. In this conversation that revolves around hashtag PassportBros, geomaxing, and the growing exodus of the Western male, the question of do you condone or condemn what the next grown man does with his penis in foreign places is repeatedly brought up. Here's the answer to that question. What that man does with his time and dime, as long as it's legal, is none of my business. Another lingering question that often goes unanswered is, what happens when American men, who for the 100 years that they've been tracking productivity stats, has been in the top 10 of the most productive male workforces in the world, decides to outsource intimacy to these different foreign nations? You know, if it's natural for women to seek the most productive men, it is also equally as natural for productive men with a global outlook to seek the finest, fittest, and friendliest women they can find, no matter the distance. As the writer George Sand once said, there is only one happiness in life, to love and to be loved, no matter your race. Those are the core principles at the foundation of #PassportBros. Personal sovereignty requires more discipline, not less. So leave the toxic version of yourself in the West. But always value yourself as a man, no matter where you may find yourself here on this green earth.